What up, Rodders? You know who it is. You know what time it is. Your boy Savage, aka Sevloke. You tune in to Sevloke's Hood Tales. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Let's get to the politic. Big shout out to everybody showing the channel love. I appreciate the love and support. Thank you for the interactions. So let's get to the video. And in this video, it's a story time with the Sevloke. And in this story time, this is actually a domino effect from a previous video I did, a previous situation that we were in. And that situation is when the homie got stabbed up in the back of his head on the bus and he almost died in my arms. And this was a domino effect after that, because certain situations occurred after that. The homie got stabbed, and you could already imagine there was stuff that occurred after that. And it was crazy because when the homie got stabbed, in that time frame, some other fools from our neighborhood actually got caught up for some shootings and even a murder case, and then got hit with a gang of straps. So the laws, they were already trying to actually push like an indictment. So when he gets stabbed, they started questioning people from the hood because they try to put us all together. But this was a different circle from our neighborhood. They just did their own thing and they had their own little thing going on. But the cops, they try to put it all together as one, and they started even questioning me, like, what's going on with your hood and what's up with these fools? So what is there stuff going on in these streets? Cause we're hearing there's a lot of wars, and I'm playing stupid, like, bruh, I don't even know what you're talking about. They were like, obviously you do, your homie got stabbed. And I said, we were in the wrong place, just playing stupid. So the cops was, you know, kind of watching, bro. And then another thing is too, they put it out there that it was pretty much some fools from the west side, and they was some bloods from the west side. So the cops were trying to stir up some shit, you know what I'm saying? So automatically, bro, that domino effects to drama and static between two neighborhoods and two circles from different sides of town. And it was crazy, bro. It was a crazy time. So it's about 3 weeks to 4 weeks after the homie gets stabbed up, and the homie's out and about. He's recovering. He still got stitches and stuff, bro, but he's trooping still. He don't let that, you know, he don't let that hold him in the house or nothing. He's back on the avenue. And this day, we're gonna go sell actually CDs for an upcoming concert that we got going on with the older cousins, and we're gonna sell some concert tickets. And where we're located, we're on Sheridan and Colfax. And pretty much we have to go all the way to the older homie's house to Federal and Evans, and then catch that bus going to Evans and Downing. That's where the homie lived. So it was kind of a little mission to the homie's house. Well, where we are on Sheridan and Colfax, around that area, you got to catch that 16 all the way down to the transit station by the Mile High Stadium, the old Broncos Stadium. And it was an old transit station where the bus line actually would go, and then you would have to transfer it to that 31 to go to Federal and Evans. Now out here, they don't have that transit station right there at the stadium no more. They got it about a block away, and I think, I haven't caught the bus in a minute, but I think it's called the Decatur station, because a lot of they actually had more bus lines that go there now, because the bus lines actually got bigger out here since Denver expanded. So we go catch, we get off on that 31, and the bus that goes to Federal and Evans is that 31, and it goes north on Federal, and the other bus is the 30, and it goes south on Federal. And when you catch that 31, it goes all the way north, but when you're catching it through the west side. You're catching it all the way southwest. So you run into the west side hoods, and fools get on the bus and they're from the west side, and you're liable to run into all kinds of west side fools and even some south side fools. And where we're from, we don't usually get along. We don't usually click at times. So, and especially our sector, because we're lokes, automatically we got a target on our back. So when we're on that bus line, we're kind of, you know what I'm saying, watching the premises, like who's getting on the bus line. We're on standstill, some real militant stuff, like who's getting on the bus line, because you never know who's going to pull up on that bus line. So we're going, and we got to go all the way to Federal and Evans. And about, I would have to say, 2 bus stops before we get off, I see the bus pull up, and there's this individual that gets on the bus, and automatically you could tell he's gang banged out. You could tell he's gang related. He gets on and he sits at the front of the bus, and he's on his phone at first, and I started looking at the tattoo. I said, hey, fool, that fool looks familiar, homie. He looks familiar. And the homie's like, yeah, he does, bro. And I said, where do we know this fool from? We got into it with this fool before. So that fool that's at the front of the bus, he looks up and he looks back in our direction in the back of the bus, and the homie hits him up like, come back here, homie. And he hits him up with gang signs, and that fool gets nervous. Well, the bus stop before the bus stop we had to get off on Federal and Evans, this fool gets off on the bus stop before that, and he gets off fast. So we get off, and we gonna see what cuz's temperature is now, because he made himself look weird. And I promise, in the back of my mind, I'm like, we got into it with this fool before. So we hop off, and by the time we hop off, this fool's already running past the McDonald's all the way down that street, and he's running full speed. So we're not gonna give chase. And I said, that looks weird, homie. I think that's one of them fools that actually stuck you, homie. And the homie's like, yeah, bro, that look weird. So we're trying to piece it together, and I said, hey, cuz, let's go to this Taco Bell. And in that Brentwood Center, they got a gang of food places. The Brentwood Center got Burger King, it got a Burger King, it got some McDonald's, it has a Mexican restaurant over there, it got a little Mexican grocery spot right there. It has a clothes place where you can go buy hood attire, and then across the street got the Taco Bell, and then right here it has a Wendy's, and then down the block there's a gas station. So there's places actually you can go eat right there. And I said, hey, let's go get some Taco Bell. So we cross the street on Federal, and we go to that Taco Bell, and we order, and we go sit in there, and we're eating, and I'm trying to piece that whole situation together. I'm like, cuz, that looked like one of them fools. I bet it was one of them fools. And the homie's like, yeah, homie, that look weird. So when that happens, it's about 20 minutes from that situation. I'm eating, and I look up, and off to the side, like across the street of Federal in that Brentwood Center, I see that fool that got off the bus and 2 other individuals. I see them fools actually walking towards the McDonald's. They're behind the McDonald's, and they're walking towards the McDonald's. And I say, hey, cuz, that's that fool. So automatically, I don't even think about what I'm doing. I go outside of the Taco Bell, and the homies, they follow. And then I start banging on them like, oh, rip. And I start banging on them, and they hear us from across the street, and when they see us, they bang back on me. And I said, come over here, fool. Come over here. Come across the street. Because behind that Taco Bell, there's actually a field, and there's actually a place where you actually, if you want, you could actually go fade out, or you could do somebody dirty right there. So I'm trying to tell them to come across the street. I'm like, come across the street, pussy ass fools. Come to this field behind this Taco Bell. There's nobody gonna actually call anything, because there's not really no housing right there. So it's a perfect spot to do what you have to do. Well, these fools are crossing the Brentwood Center, and at this time it's lunchtime for the high school, Lincoln High School, and there's all kinds of people over there. There's all kinds of high schoolers over there, and to top it off, there's security guards in that Brentwood Center. They actually have security guards for that Brentwood Center. So I'm not trying to go across the street. I'm trying to draw them from over there to come where there's no security, and they just keep walking. So we stay on this side, and I'm still hitting them up with gang signs, because I'm trying to see where these fools are gonna go. Well, they walk all the way through the parking lot, and there's a Burger King at the end of the parking lot, and they go over there. And then we start walking, and we go towards the direction of the Wendy's and the gas station. There's a gas station at the corner of Federal and Evans, and it got to actually a payphone, old school payphone. And we pull up to the gas station, and across the street, I start seeing cars pull up. So what these fools were doing when they were walking, they were calling actually their homies to pull up to the Brentwood Center. So we walk I go into the gas. I said, watch them cars, bro. Watch where them fools go. I come back out, and the other homie's like, hey, bro, these fools got deep on us. They're like 4 carloads deep, plus the fools that walked up. And I said, oh, okay, I peep it out. And yeah, they got deep on us. So I get on that payphone and I call my older homie and I say, hey, cuz, you need to come over here and actually bring something, bro, because these fools actually pulled up deep on us. And he's like, where you at? I said, I'm on Fedro and Evans. He said, go to that King Supers behind. And he hung up on me. So I said, automatically, I already knew what time it was. So I told the homies, I said, in 10 seconds, bro, we're going to actually, basically, we're going to hop this fence and we're going to go through these trailer parks that was right there and the homie's about to actually meet up with us at King Supers. He's coming over now. So the homie's like, hell yeah. And I was like, you know, you already know what time it is. So we actually right there, and we go behind the gas station and we hop the fence and we start dipping through the trailer parks that's right there. And I could hear cars actually skirting from the Brentwood Center, and you could hear the cars actually gunning. So we're running, we get to that King Supers right there, and sure enough, they went all the way around on the busy street of Evans, and you can see the cars, you can see like 2 cars actually pull up in that parking lot, and it's like in the distance. So we get in front of the King Supers, and pretty much we're right there, and there's a lot of people, and there's actually right there, there's actually some security guards of the King Supers, and you see the cars actually pull up, and one of them cars parks off in the distance, and that other car actually comes right in front of the King Supers, and they drive by, and through the windows you can see them striking us up. So I said, these fools are really tripping. So they go off and they park where their homies are, and we're right there. And then I said, cuz, where's this fool, where's the homie at? So all of a sudden, off in the distance, I see the homie, and I see his car, and he had a Nova. This fool pulls up in the parking lot off in the distance, and he parks and he gets out. These fools don't know homies with us because they haven't seen him. They just think it's us 3, and we're in the front of the King Supers, and I'm just like, you know, I got super happy when I seen the homie. This fool walks, and he don't even come up to us. He walks, and when he walks past, he said, hey, come in the King Supers in 10 seconds and tell me what was going on. Tell me what's going on. So 10 seconds pass by. He goes into King Supers. I go in after 10 seconds, and I go in, and I explain what the situation was. And he said, all right, what we're going to do is, hey, when pretty much you go back out there, start creeping off to Evans, and I'm going to actually get on foot down Evans, and I'm going to actually come behind you, and I'm going to act like I'm in traffic, and I'm going to follow you, and they don't know what car I'm in. And I said, all right. So I get the homies, and we take off to Evans, and when we take off to Evans, we start walking down Evans. Evans is that street right there. And we start walking down Evans, and there's a park right here, and then you got a garage where they do tires and stuff. Well, when we start walking, we're walking down Evans. Sure enough, them cars, they went down this side street, and they come up the street. And then to top that off, there's apartments right there. I see fools come out these apartments, and pretty much these fools hopped out of the car, and it's like 20 of these little fools, bro, that come out the apartments, and it's only 3 of us. And pretty much when I see them, I'm like, where's this fool at? So when that happens, bro, and I start seeing them park right there, and they start walking towards us, and they're about to cross Evans, they're on foot, and it's like 20 of these fools. There's the tire place right here. I go in and I grab a pole, and the homies grab weapons because there's actually metal right there. We grab them. As soon as we grab them, they're about to cross the street, and I see the homie. He drives up all crazy, boom, and he hits the brake, puts it in thing, and he comes out with the Yada. Boom, 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 boom. He sprays the whole thing. These fools start falling, bruh. I take off, you know what I'm saying? And it backed them up so much, these fools start jetting off. They start running. We run half down the block, and this fool drives up on us. We hop in the car, bro, and we start getting through the neighborhood, bro. And if it wasn't for homie saving us that day, we would have been goners, bro. Yeah, so you know, that was a crazy situation. The homie saved our life, because if it wasn't for homie, they would have stomped us out, probably stabbed us up, probably got at us something vicious. But you know what it is, man. Your boy Savage. Hope you enjoyed the hood tales, the hood story. And to the next one, Mile High salute to the riders. Let's go.